A big project within our classroom is the filming, production, and distribution of the daily announcements. Students record the announcements each afternoon for the next day. The announcements are uploaded to YouTube and a link is sent out to each teacher as well as the parents and played in the classrooms at the start of second block classes. The startup of this project began in September 2017 when our principal, Mr. Bill Meseral, was wanting a way for the students to be delivering the important information, hoping that students would listen more closely to their peers. This is also a platform where students can take pride in the information being delivered as well as showcase their talents in front of and behind the camera. The teacher feedback we have gotten from the daily announcements has been mostly positive. Before the daily announcements were recorded and broadcasted, teachers were responsible for reading off a PDF file at the beginning of class to the students. This took valuable class time away from learning. Now, teachers can play the announcements while taking attendance and lose no additional instructional time. The first presenter on the topic of the daily announcements is sophomore Aaliyah Calvin. Aaliyah will talk about what doing the announcements means to her.
My primary role in the CAS classroom is to bring the announcements to my peers each day. This allows important information to be shared throughout the community in an efficient way. It is important to have a cheerful personality when you are delivering information to my peers. This has given me the opportunity to explore a career in communications and made me realize that I have a passion for photojournalism. I take my job very seriously because I want to make sure my peers are informed about what is going on around the high school as well as updated past events and results. I have received a lot of compliments from my teachers, family, and friends about the job I am doing. One important thing to keep in mind as a student when recording announcements is to relax and not be nervous. There are very talented students around me that are capable of editing my footage. And making me look good. I am glad we chose to do a pre-recorded announcements instead of a live broadcast, so the pressure to be perfect isn't too much to handle. Here's a video of our day-to-day setup and operations for a typical announcements production.
On a day-to-day stance, I do not have to do much for the students when they are ready to record. I work closely with them while recording for the first 1 to 2 weeks of the school year. This is to ensure they know the proper recording etiquette. A Google Doc script is used on the teleprompter. It is updated each day with appropriate information, lunch menu, quote of the day, seminar schedule, activities calendar, birthdays, as well as other important information. After the first quarter, the students are capable of handling the day-to-day operations on their own. They get used to the routine and take control of the broadcast. You have heard from an anchor on the announcements. Now, I would like to send it over to sophomore CAS student Brooklyn Mckinney. Brooklyn deals with more on the production side of the camera.
My experience with announcements has been on the production side. I edit the video clips and add graphics to bring the footage to life. I love working with my classmates to produce something that will be seen and heard outside of the school walls. I can transfer these technology skills beyond CAS class and into other academic productions. I'm an active student athlete in volleyball, track and field, and softball. With those activities, there are always athletic banquets. I look forward to the opportunity of creating the highlight reel for the season to show to my teammates and community. What makes CAS Classroom and my project of the daily announcements is that my work is shared outside the 4 classroom walls. This makes the work I do more meaningful and I work much harder on it.
The software we use for the production of our announcements and all other video projects in our classroom is Final Cut Pro. This software is user-friendly and the end product is professional quality. The other program needed to create the graphics for the announcements is Canva. Canva is a website with the choice of a free or purchased account. We use the free version for our announcements, graphics, social media posts, and other poster or media creations. As with all tools and software used in the classroom, a lesson over the use of it and assignments to improve their skills within each program is used to evaluate their mastery of said tools. Next, an example of the daily announcements that is aired on our YouTube channel, Creston Panther TV.
Good morning, CCHS. I'm Trey Chestnut, and I'm here to bring you the daily announcements. Today is Wednesday, March 10th. It is a B-Day, day 121 of the school year. For lunch, we'll be dining on chicken feta, salsa and cheese, peppers and onion, corn, mandarin oranges, milk. The quote of the day comes from Walter Elliott. He said, "Perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after the other." Now let's take a look at the standing announcements.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Mckinney with the standing announcements. Library fines will be half price this week. Please take advantage of the savings. There are also a few students that have not returned library books they have checked out from last year. Fines will not be charged for these books, but if not returned, you will be charged for the cost to replace the book. There will be an early dismissal tomorrow due to parent-teacher conferences and no school on Friday. Here is Khalil with the SEL follow-up message.
I'll get it next time.
I get it next time.
I know it can be extremely hard to be confident in yourself, especially in high school, always wondering what people are thinking and saying about you. However, by being yourself and doing what makes you happy, you can take control of this fear and become more confident as a human.
Ways you can stay self-confident is setting goals, even if they're small, and always staying motivated.
Let's take a look at the seminar schedule. Today during seminar, there will be a boys soccer meeting in the Commons and a student government meeting in the cast room. The badminton and ping pong tournament will take place in the gymnasium. There will be no seminar tomorrow or on Friday. That's all we have for the seminar schedule. Let's take a look at the activities calendar.
Hi, my name's Leah with the activities calendar. Tonight there is a girls soccer meeting for parents at 7 o'clock p.m. in the high school commons. Let's send it back to the newsroom to wrap up the announcements.
There are no birthdays today to celebrate at CCHS. Have a great day, and always remember to respect yourself, others, and this place.
From the principal's perspective on our video announcements, the first thing we found out was that students pay attention to other students. We used to just read the announcements, either a secretary or myself, at the beginning of the day as just reminders, and probably very few students heard that. So with students doing it, students are more likely to pay attention, and if it's video, that's even better. The second thing, from my perspective, is the skill that's involved. I think, a lot of schools probably do that, and I jump on the announcement from time to time and give some updates, but the skills we're talking about are the video editing, the sound editing, the mashing of the videos, getting it down to where it's 4 minutes long. That takes some real skill, and that's going to help our kids once they leave Creston Community High School and go out to college or look for work. One of the things that really becomes important, and we didn't even think about this, and it wasn't a part of getting it going, but it's the inclusion of students that sometimes aren't included. So to give you an example, we have students with unique or special needs, and we can splice them in with the announcements. They might not be the main announcer, but they might give the lunch menu, they might do the seminar schedule, and those students absolutely light up when you can walk into the room and say, "Hey, I saw you on the announcements today, you were great." And it's not just the principal doing that, it's other staff members, and most importantly, other students giving that positive feedback. We also found out that it's simply the best way to get information to our students, staff, and parents. Now, we watch it in school, but we email this out. I don't know who's all on that email list, but it's a long list. And then we put it out on social media. So it's another great way to communicate with our public at large. And we get a lot of positive feedback from parents, from community members, from people that are not in our physical 912 building here at CCHS. It also allows for special features. So every once in a while we have this deal called the Messerol Minute, and I'll get on and go over something, and I only do it if we have something important to talk about so it doesn't become redundant. And of course this year we used it a lot at the beginning of the year to talk about our COVID mitigation efforts and what we're going to do, and then we had follow-up and to try to reinforce those. And this year we started, we have an SOC, or excuse me, or a student of color group, and they wanted to get on something similar to the Messerol Minute. We call it the Minority Moment, and they could get on and just briefly talk about what it's like to be a student of color at this high school, and that's had a real positive effect both on our SOC group and on everybody that that might be watching. And finally, it celebrates student success. We have the results from last night. We have a highlight if somebody breaks the rebound record or gets their 100th win in wrestling, or if somebody gets straight ones at an ensemble contest, or if speech goes from district to state to all state. We can put pictures up and celebrate those kids. The one thing I would caution is make sure you're diligent, because if you forget a kid, that feedback's going to get to us, and we can always make corrections, but we try to be extremely thorough on that. So from the perspective as a principal, those are my thoughts. Thanks for having me today.
These students all play a huge role in their school by representing their classmates in front of the camera, bringing them the news within the school, and also supporting those involved in activities by promoting their events, results, and awards. The commitment to delivering the news on a strict schedule each day is done with enthusiasm and professionalism. The daily announcements give students who have an interest about being on camera a meaningful project to complete in an authentic environment. The value beyond school is easily recognized by the students, and the feedback is very positive from their peers, community, and teachers. If you are interested in starting a daily announcements project in your school or classroom, my contact information is on the screen below. Please contact me with any questions or concerns. Thank you for your time.